Hey, it's Heather here. I'm gonna try to do this again because I got sidetracked in my other video that I was gonna upload and I don't know what the fuck to do. But anyways, I got sidetracked talking about my baby girl, so got really sidetracked talking about it because it's not necessarily too personal, but it's just I get tired of being personal, I guess, or being, as out front and outspoken as I am, and nobody else is. So I'm not getting anything in return because everybody's trying to play these mind games and shit. And then that's even Jennifer, and Jennifer's what, Sagittarius Scorpio mix or some shit like that, and Scorpio, and my cousin Misty was a Scorpio, and I know how they do, and I know how that if they, I don't know, it's if they get their feelings hurt or anything, it's it's this type of, I gotta get you back type kind of thing or whatever, and it's just wasn't even about that, calm down, and stuff, and they usually have a really hard time doing that, and then they do really mean things and stuff. Kinda. I don't know though. Jen ain't done nothing really mean to me, but it's she's made it clear that she wanted to date me or be with me or some shit like that and everything, and then one night we're sitting and talking and she's something other really pretty, and then even last night she come over to get some tea. And she was telling me about what was going on at her place, and I was just like, shit, and she's like, oh, that's just the way that Jimmy used to say it, which is her kid's dad that passed away, and I'm just like, oh, and it's I remind her to a degree in some ways, of him, and I get that has to be kind of hard on her and stuff and everything, and everything, but I mean that's the way life is sometimes, because hell, whenever I went over the other night and I was sitting there, she's like, oh, this is so and so's cat and its name's Pumpkin. I was sitting there and I was like, oh, and it was Calico, and I was like, because Pumpkin is my cat that died, or kitten that died, that froze to death out on the porch when my daughter was 2, because my dad wouldn't let me bring them in the house, and they'd pissed and shit on themselves, the kittens had. And they all practically ended up dying, catching pneumonia. But except for 2. We have 6 kittens die. But they'd shit on themselves when they was in the pet taxi earlier. And we was putting them in a pet taxi because they were so rambunctious. We put them in a pet taxi and left them outside that afternoon. But they're so rambunctious, we don't want them running off, getting hit by a car, because they were used to being inside. And my dad had just come back home from my parent, I don't know, from some shit or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember, in all honesty, but I think he'd at least been gone for the weekend. Maybe he got mad and stomped off and went and stayed with his mom, but whenever he come back, he's like, get those damn kittens out, or some shit. So we put them in the pet taxi, set them outside. When we come back, they pissed and shit all on themselves. They were just maybe 6 weeks old. And took them in, gave them a bath, and it's freezing outside. Fucking freezing outside. I'm talking cold as shit. And my dad refuses to let me even bring them in, put them in the pet taxi, or shut them in the bathroom or anything. So I have to put them out. Well, Pumpkin is cold, and Pumpkin knows I take care of her because I've developed a relationship with her. And so she kept coming to the fucking door, and I'm trying to give them blankets and shit, and I ended up flipping the kids' pool upside down, putting blankets and pillows up under there, for them to cuddle up and stay warm, and Pumpkin just keeps getting out. And so does Pixie Dust. Now, that was Ava's, but, we still was close to her, and whenever Pumpkin froze to death and Pixie Dust about froze to death, Clarabelle, go. And then Pixie Dust died within the next 30-something hours or whatever because she caught pneumonia because she kept trying to stay with Pumpkin. Clarabelle, lay down. You are annoying me. I'm trying to think, and you're get. I don't know how to follow subtle cues for as far as life because that makes me feel like I'm not even supposed to be talking about this whenever I get interrupted and distracted. It makes me feel like I'm not on the right track with my life. And it's like, oh, don't tell people about that. And that's so, and keep that to yourself or something, or you're going to feel bad or what the fuck ever. But then not, because that's the way that even my kid used to do me when she was home and stuff. And it's just like, anytime I'm like so focused on my own shit, it's like, here's something coming, And that's like my kid. I'll be like, I'm going to take a bath. And she'd be like, okay. And I'll be like, have you peed, because our bathroom's back past the toilet, And I'll be like, do you need to go to the bathroom? No, I'm good, so you don't need me for anything. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, I'm going to go take a bath. So I go to take a bath. And she'd just sneak back there, And I'll be like, what are you doing? And she'd be like, I just don't want to be alone, I want to spend time with you. I want to sit with you, this and that and everything. Or whatever, or, and then I'm like, okay, well, you're done in here, and you're not gonna leave, I guess, and she's like, well, I will if you want me to, and she's like, or can I paint my nails, and I think, like, once or twice, she sat and painted her damn nails on the outside of the damn tub, like, she's a mama's girl, and so I'm just like, okay, and then even at that, like, I don't even know the last time, I think she was like 9 or 10, and it makes me feel bad now because, like, she's my baby and she's older and everything, but she used to be like, can I take a bath with you? And I'm like, I guess, I'm like, I don't know why you want to take a bath with me, like, because, like, me with my mom, but then again, my mom's and mine's relationship was not good, so by the time I was, like, 6, I was like, I gotta take a shower with you, I don't want to take a shower with you, like, get away. I was like, get away from me. But my kid was always, can I take a bath with you? And she did it so much whenever we was living over at my grandmother's. Oh my God. She did it so much before we moved in here. I was like, please stop. I even had to take one of those baths with her with the, what is it? The slimy shit. I don't know. It's some type of stuff you pour in the damn tub, and it's almost like Orbeez, but it's not, and it's like this gelatin type shit and everything. We was in there throwing it at each other. We was having fun, I ain't gonna lie, but I was just like, ugh. And it took forever, like, to get all the pieces washed out of my hair, I remember. But anyways, I'm such a kid when it comes to my baby. But anyways, so I was talking about Pumpkin and Pixie Dust. So Pumpkin keeps coming to the fucking porch and not staying warm, and I keep throwing her ass up under there. Well, Ava is teething at the time. She's cutting like her 2-year molars or whatever. And she's teething god awful, and I've done fed her I don't know how many times, and maybe it's like her internal intuition too, because, like, I don't know, or something, because if you see my previous video, where I talk about Myrtle Beach and, like, this guy that died, and, like, Ava dreamt of him and some other weird shit and all that, and, like, I believe in ghosts and stuff, and, I mean, I'm not sitting here being like, yeah, let me see a ghost right now. No, stay the fuck away. I don't want to see you unless I gotta deal with you. If I gotta deal with you, I will. If I don't, then hey, it's a good day. But, it's like anything that, and not everything is a negative, There's good, and that's just like the dream that I had about Steven and shit and everything, and it was good, and after he committed suicide and stuff, even though it was awkward for the first little bit, and I was scared. But, then I got to where I wasn't scared, then I got to where I didn't want to wake up, but, because I was with him. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I am. I don't know if I'm psychic, empath, witch, what the fuck ever, or any type of shit like that. And I don't know if I necessarily even believe in that, but I do believe in good and evil, and I do believe in God, and so I do believe in angels, and so I do believe in the devil, and I do believe in demons. And then even if you only believe in God and, the devil, then the devil was an angel that fell, and so there's your angel there, and then there's your demon there. So, and all the in-between layers of things and all kinds of shit. And anyways, so this cat, Pumpkin, just keeps coming to the fucking door. And I'm like on the verge of a nervous breakdown because my dad's rule is that I cannot bring the cat in. And my dad is asleep on the couch or trying to sleep on the couch or what the fuck ever or some shit. And my kid keeps crying and I'm trying to, put her to sleep. I've done put her to sleep 3 damn times. And I'm putting her to sleep. And this is like the whole attention thing. It's like, oh, Heather paid attention to you. So make sure Heather always pays attention to you. And I'm just like, no, don't do that to me. Let me focus on me, Let me, Like, don't do that to me is what I'm thinking when shit like this happens. So my dad told me can't bring the cats in. My kid keeps crying. I laid my kid down to go to sleep 3 damn times. She keeps getting up. And I mean, she's like snoring when I lay her down. And I'm trying to lay her down ever so gently, and everything. And, I'm trying all the different ways, like, okay, I'm going to kiss her. Okay, I'm not going to kiss her. Okay, I'm going to put a blanket on her. Okay, I'm not going to put a blanket on her. What the fuck do I have to do to get her to stay the fuck asleep? Because I'm wanting her to sleep so that way I can put the kitten in my damn shirt and sneak the kitten in the fucking house. Because if I don't, the kitten's going to freeze to death and die. Is what I'm thinking in the back of my head. And, you're not supposed to speak, truth, or not truth, but you're not supposed to speak negative. And so I'm not speaking it, but I'm thinking it in the back of my head, and I'm thinking, oh my God, if this cat does not stay up under the fucking pool out there that I flipped upside down with the damn blankets, she's gonna get sick, she's gonna die, she's gonna freeze to death. And I'm thinking, stop thinking that, Heather. Stop thinking that and just hurry and get Ava to sleep so that way you can sneak the damn kitten in with your fucking dad not knowing, and that way your fucking kitten will live, And even if you don't get to keep her because he's being a dickhead, and everything else, the kitten will live. That's all that matters is the cat is alive, And so Pumpkin came up there like 5 damn times. In between me this is before I started trying to put Ava to sleep. So, and Ava was being breastfed at the time. So, I feed Ava, and she's just like kind of all wanting to play and everything. So, I end up playing with her. And here's the kitten. I can go out there, run the kitten back, back up under the pool. And again. And again. And again. Well, Ava's attention. And Ava, supposedly ADHD or whatever. So Ava's attention every time I'm going out the door and I'm saying, hold on, Mommy, you'll be back. Sit here and wait on Mommy. It's bedtime. It's time for a book. It's time for this, and everything. Hold on, wait. Let Mommy go put the kitten back. Let Mommy go put the kitten back. So my kid just keeps coming to the fucking door looking at me putting the kitten back just like it's like a joke or something. Like, and the kitties. And can we bring them in and play? She don't understand we can't bring them in and play because my dad's a dickhead, So anyways, so then I read the book and story time, all that, and she's done had her bath and everything, and she goes to sleep. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait, maybe the cat stayed, and then I hear, and I'm like, no, she didn't. She's out on the damn porch. She wants me. It's like I'm like cat mama. And that's the thing, too, is their mom was dead. Their mom had got antifreeze poisoned. Dad. But anyways. And so I bottle fed these babies. So I was close to all of them. So I put Ava down. And I go out there, and I try to, I actually laid on the fucking cold-ass ground, put Pumpkin up under the pool, and I'm out there, petting her, and I'm, holding her to me, and she gets all warm, and she's kneading on me and stuff, and I put her under there, and I'm like, now here, stay with your brothers and sisters. Stay warm, And then I'm like, it still is kind of cold out here, so I went and got another blanket and took it out there. When I went to go take it out there, she's sitting at the goddamn porch again. She's running her little happy ass, out from the tub all the way around the fucking yard and up the goddamn porch to follow me. And I'm just like, you can't do this, and everything. And as I'm going in to get the blanket, and as I start to go out, here comes Ava. Ava's hopped up out of the bed, because my bed was on the floor. She's hopped up out of the bed and come in there and she, crying and everything. And I'm just like, God hates me, God hates me, and so I just look at Ava and I said, I'll be back. Let me take another blanket out to the kitties, okay? And she's like, and so I took it out. And I pick up Ava, and by the time I pick up Ava, that damn kitten is back out on the fucking porch. Well, now, Ava is kind of restless, and she won't lay down, she won't go to sleep, or whatever. Holy shit, I have so many fucking stories, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I wanted to talk about the way I feel about everything, but I'm just talking about other shit that I remember, so whatever, because that's what I did in the other video. But, so anyways, I'm like, fucking hell, and I'm like, God hates me. And so Ava goes back over to the door, and then Ava comes to me and, tugs on my pants. I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm, just kind of letting her I'm letting her walk, trying to see if, maybe that'll wear her out a little bit or help her get sleepy, and she's not crying, she's just kind of fussy crying, And, so I'm sitting there, and she comes and tugs at my pants, and she points at the door, and I'm like, yeah, I know the kitty's out there. And she's like, "Two kitty," and I'm like, "Two kitty," and she's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Pixie," and I was like, oh shit, so I hop up, and Pixie Dust and Pumpkin were the two twinsy best mates in the litter and everything, and Pumpkin was my baby, and Pixie was Ava's baby, and so Ava wants Pixie, Pixie Dust, and I'm just like, we can't let them in, and I'm like, let me run them back out, so I go out, and I pick them both up, and I run them back out. And I'm sitting there, and, here we go again. Pumpkin's back out there again. And I'm thinking, I can't run you back out every 5 seconds, and I've got to get my kid to sleep. So I put Ava back to sleep. I rock her, sing to her. She's back to sleep. The cat's meowing, And I keep kind of walking past the window to, kind of look at Pumpkin and be like, please just go back. I'm thinking, can I will you to go back to up under the pool? Please just go back to up under the pool. Stay warm, I have my kid in my arms, singing and all that. And then, there, the last time I crossed the door before I went and laid Ava down, Pixie Dust is back up there. And I'm like, oh, shit, and I'm like, here we go again. So then I lay Ava down. I go out, put the kittens back again. And then I'm like, I can't take both of y'all in because y'all meow too much. Because they're little baby kittens, they meow, meow, and my dad will notice. And I'm like, and it's late at night, and I can't play music to hide it. And I can barely, kind of hide one sound and be like, oh, it was me. But if they're both meowing at the same time, I can't hide that, And so I got them, down my shirt, and I'm, keeping them warm and everything. And I'm like, it's okay, and stuff. And then I put them back, And I stood at the door and waited, and they came back. And I was like, shit. So I did that, 3 damn times. And then the third time when I come back, Ava's up, coming out the bedroom door. And I'm like, here we go again. So then I ended up putting Ava to sleep. But it took an hour and a half to put her to sleep that time. And during that hour and a half, and I'm walking past the door, I only walked past it, once and a half, I guess you'd say, times, because I done 45 minutes into taking care of Ava and putting her to sleep. I was like, that cat's gonna die. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I walked past, and, I was like, shit. And then when I walked past, and I couldn't even bear to look, and she didn't look like she was moving. And I was like, come on, Ava, hurry and go to sleep. Please hurry and go to sleep. But I couldn't put Ava down because she would wake back up. She's teething. She's on Tylenol, teething tablets, all this and everything. I have nobody to pass her off to. I'm getting mad. I'm mad at Adam for not being that guy to be there, so that way I can tend to a fucking kitten. Then I'm mad at myself because I want to tend to a kitten that's freezing to death versus taking care of my teething kid, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for it. But then I'm like, but ultimately my child is more important than a damn kitten. But my child teething is not more important than life and death, And then I'm just thinking, and my dad is such a piece of shit for not letting these baby kittens up in this damn house, you know. And they may have been 10 weeks old at the oldest, but I think they were only like 6 weeks old at the time. And, so I'm just like, fuck, you know. And I go out, and after I lay Ava down, and Pumpkin's froze to death on the porch. And I couldn't even get her off. And Pixie Dust was pretty much froze to the porch too, but she was still breathing. And so I put her in my shirt, and I warmed her up and everything, and rubbing her and all this and everything. And I took her in and kept her in with me for about 3 hours, got her warmed up and everything. And she's not, you know, like, and like I'm feeding her and I'm giving her a bottle, and she's drinking the bottle ferociously like they always did, you know, or whatever, but she's not playful. She's got pneumonia is the best way to word it. You know, she can't breathe right, and her nose is whistling and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, fuck. And then this is Ava's kitten. So I'm done having to deal with the fact that my kitten that I picked is dead. You know, and then I'm sitting there and I'm like, but maybe in the back of my head, and I'm like, but I can't tend to 2 kittens, you know, and I'm like, maybe I should have got her, you know, and I always regretted and all that and everything. And then I couldn't even stand to look at her, you know, I couldn't even, like, you know, I just couldn't, you know, and fuck, I couldn't. I feel so bad about that. But the next morning, whenever I woke up, I had to take a shovel and pry her off. But it was just a lot. And so I'm over at Jen's, and not last night, but the night before, and this girl that she's got staying with her, her cat's calico like mine was, but not the same. You know, mine had more color to it. And she's like, oh, the cat's name's Pumpkin. And I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. And I'm like, yay. And that's the first cat that I've seen that's named Pumpkin since my cat, other than, like, you know, like in real life. I mean, I've seen on Facebook and YouTube, but it just kind of, you know, tugged at my heart a little. And that's the thing, like with Jen, whenever she's like, oh, you say shit just like Jimmy does, whenever, you know, oh, shit, you know. And so I get that it tugs at her heart and all that and everything, but at the same time, I mean, you live with that shit, and you just go on, you know, and you try to make the best of your life and your days, and, you know, you keep pushing forward. Oh, you eating this up. But, anyways, so back to normal life and off of the story of that and everything. Yesterday's video. Okay, let me get into my phone. My phone has been wonky and all kinds of shit, and I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. And then my grandmother tells me that she's been trying to call me all this time, and I have not received a phone call from her. And she's like, I do, and I have, and I don't know why you're not receiving it. And I received from everybody else, so I'm just like, you're lying. But she's like, I know what your voicemail says. Well, my voicemail has been the same for ever since I got the phone, so 2 fucking years. So, yeah, you probably heard my voicemail, but you could have heard it a long-ass time ago, and you're just repeating it, and I ain't changed it because I don't give a shit to. Because I don't fuck with shit like that. Like, I don't even like people leaving me voicemails for the most part, you know, like. But, so anyways, yesterday's second video that I went to go and upload, it didn't upload. That's what I don't get. It did not upload. I went to go upload it, and it said waiting for network. So then I exited out, and then it said, like, it canceled the upload, supposedly. And so I'm sitting here all day, you know, thinking, well, not all day, for like 3 hours, thinking, oh, shit, that's uploaded. And I did that, and I said that, you know, and this and that, and the videos and all this and everything, and I'm just like, whatever, you know, and I'm just like, okay, you know, and stuff. And I'm thinking, you know, it uploaded. Well, then I look, and it hasn't. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it didn't upload at all. Okay. And so I'm thinking, well, I just won't upload that video. I'll just leave it down. And then I wake up this morning, and it's like, oh, it uploaded. What the fuck? What the fuck? You know, it upload, like, what the fuck? Like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, so that's out there, me being kind of pissed off and irritated, and upset and everything. And I'm like, great, just great, like, can something be what it is, And that's the thing, is like, but it still is what it is, and everything. So it's whatever. But, so that's dealing with that little bit. I've watched I watched yesterday's, both of them. I watched my last two videos, and I realized that I said some things, and, like, I'm, like, dyslexic, so, but it's like I was talking about, because when I catch myself, I feel like I always have to correct myself, because, like, I don't know, I'm fucked up like that. But, so I was referring to my sister's boyfriend's other kid. And I was like his half kid. It's not his half kid, it's his fucking kid. So I caught myself when I said that, and I was like, oh my god. So that was like the funny thing that I caught myself on. One thing that I caught myself on, I was like, shit, and this is the reason I'm an INFP, and this is the reason people don't understand me when I fucking talk, and they, and they're like, oh, you think you talk clearly, and you think you make sense, and it's like, I do. But you just have to not be so literal all the time with me, especially when it comes to, like, little shit. I don't know. I'm complex. I really am, but I'm not at the same time. I'm very simplistic. But I was talking about how I drove a guy home the other night for Jen, and I was like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. And I didn't want to do it, but I was like, I guess. And then I was like, holy shit, you just contradicted yourself in saying that, Heather. Because I stated that I didn't want to take him home, but I still did, and I'm not going to do something unless I want to. What I mean by that is if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it come hell or high water. If I'm 100% firm on, that ain't happening, then it ain't going to happen. But if I'm not 100% firm on it, and it's like, I guess, what's the big deal? I don't want to, but I can, then I will. For the most part, unless I'm really fucking tired, And so, that's that, But, and then I'm kind of worried, like, if Jennifer might end up being mad at me, but if she is, she ain't got no right to be, in all honesty. Because you make your own decisions in life. But, she was trying to get me to come over again last night, and I didn't want to. And I mean, she wasn't like begging or anything. She's like, hey, you want to come over? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, fair enough. And then she's like, are you sure? Because it's really boring. And I was like, no, I'm good. And she's like, okay. And then I went across the street and I got me some food, even though my money's tight. But I wanted a damn salad, So I was like, fuck, I'm going to get me a salad. And so I went, and got me a salad. And I come back and she's standing here. And she's like, hey, I need something to drink, and I was like, okay. So I gave her some sweet tea, But, I don't know. And then she texts me later on, and she's like, well, it's too late to get you to, it's too late now. Some gay shit's fixing to happen. And I was like, okay. And, I'm just like, okay. And she's like, yeah. She's like, it's too late now for you to come over because it's fixing to happen. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm not going to come and rescue you every night or even once a week from a bad decision if you're going to keep making a bad decision, if you even see it as a bad decision. I'm not saying it's a bad decision. It's your decision. Your decision's your decision. My decisions are my decisions, And I'll save you from them occasionally, but it's not my responsibility to save you from them all the time, And then even if you don't see it as a bad decision, but you see it as a good decision, but you're just not ready for it, I'm still not going to bail you out all the time, of your decisions and stuff like that. Like, I'll be your friend and everything, and I'll bail you out when shit's really bad and stuff like that, if I can, and if I'm willing to, and if it don't go against my morals and stuff. And I'll sit down and I'll talk to you, face to face about the shit and everything, but you're your own person. You make your own decisions. And then that's like even me with Jason or whatever. Like, literally, we got to Jason's house that night, or his place, not his house, but we got to his place that night, the other night, And, like, we're literally laying in bed, like, maybe 15 minutes, and my phone goes off. And so I have the option to look at my phone or not, and I chose not to. And I chose not to, and so the rest of the night went on the way that it did, you know? And I chose not to, you know? And I don't know. I'm just so... I feel like I'm melting. Maybe I am a witch. I'm melting. Okay, I'm not melting. I'm sorry. Okay. Like, my cat's looking at me like, bitch, shut up. Like, I'm sorry. I not melt you. I not leave you. Ain't he handsome? Ain't he handsome? He's a handsome boy. You handsome? Yeah. You were born before Ava's second birthday? So 2008? Go lay down. Yeah, that's right. Damn. You 11, son. Or fixing to be. Whatever else get. So jealous. But, my mind's in 50 million places because I don't even remember what I said in the last video to a degree, but then again I do. Because I was talking about shit dealing with that and like coincidences and deja vu. And I've talked about deja vu before and stuff like that. And like, okay, the first time that I went and hung out with Jason, like what, 5 years ago? 4, 5, I don't know. Stevie, get. Before I lived here, I went to go hang out with him, and I was sick, and I wasn't feeling good, and he's like, oh, I'll buy you some medicine, so we went to the gas station, then we went to the Kroger, and I'm sitting there in the parking lot, and it's like I was nervous, like, I felt uneasy, like, nervous, and I had a deja vu, and in the deja vu, I called my dad on the cell phone, and I was like, hey, can you just come pick me up, and my dad's like, where the fuck are you, you know, because I don't go anywhere, you know, and I'm like, I decided to try to go out on a date with this guy, and I just have a weird feeling, so will you come pick me up, you know, and in my deja vu, my dad comes and picks me up, I get in the car, and he's cussing at me the whole fucking way home, you know, and he don't even take me to back to my grandmother's, instead he takes me to his house, and he's like, well, you have to spend the night here, you know, I can't believe that shit, just so that way he can bitch at me more, you know, or whatever, and so I chose to not go that route. And I was like, no, I'm a big girl, and I decided to get in the car with this motherfucker. So we go in, and we doing what the fuck ever happens. Like, I will be responsible, you know? And so that's what happened with that, you know? But I had, like, a bad kind of feeling or whatever. And so maybe it's good that me and him, you know, and that he blocked me. I don't know, but the thing is now... And I don't know, like, there's people that talk about alternate universes and, like, this and that. And then it's like, you know, time and all this and stuff and whatever. But it's like, I'm sitting here now and I'm like, okay, like, last night I literally had to restrain myself. Like, not really bad, but yeah. Like, my internal intuition, everything inside of me was screaming, go borrow Jennifer's car and drive to his place. And knock on the door and be like, dude, you don't have to just block me. We can talk. We're adults. You know, like, what's the deal? And it's like, I feel like if I would have went that path, then maybe me and him would kind of, you know, be friends or whatever or something more. And I didn't go that path because of uncertainty and being scared and not knowing where it's going to lead me and all that and everything. So I was just like, fuck it. But I literally sat here for like an hour and I was like, I'm fixing to go get her car and drive over there. And then I was like, oh my God, I can imagine the gossip. Because I went to EJ's, I walked to EJ's because I get a message from her friend, oh, she's crying and it's all your fault, you know. And I'm like, no, she can't be. I can't have that. And at first I'm mad, sat here for like 3 hours, I'm mad, and then I'm like, fuck it. And my intuition's like, go check on her. Go, but it's not just my intuition as much as it was passion. It's like, go check on her. You fucking love her. You care about her. She's crying. It's your fault. Go fix it, Heather. So I went walking. And then she called the cops on me. So I can imagine, I'm not invited to dude's house, and I borrowed Jen's car, and I drive over there, if I would have, but I didn't. But I drive over there, and I'm knocking on his door, and I'm like, hey, can we talk about this? And if he would have been like, get out of here, and I'm like, wait, that's not the reaction I was expecting. Okay. And then I else would have like got out of there and cried and been upset or been mad, and had to deal with that. Or I wouldn't have got out of there and I would have been like, no, you're going to fucking talk to me. You're going to fucking like be real with me and not be some little jokester and shithead. Like you're going to be real with me. Like he would have called the fucking cops on me. And they'd be like, oh God, don't hang out with Heather. You have to call the fucking cops on her because you hung out with her, because she'll just show the fuck up. Like, no, I don't need that reputation. But anyways, it's like I have deja vu about over there, slightly. And it's like, supposedly, I don't know. I shouldn't. You're not supposed to speak about it if it's something that has not even came in the time to pass, supposedly, or whatever. You can speak about it after it happens, but you can't speak about it before it happens. I feel. And I feel like I don't even feel like, I think it's like a rule that like my brain just kind of picks up on, and it's like, that's in the future, you can't speak about that. And so I'm just like, okay. It is so difficult being me. Maybe I should just give up and become a witch. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I was hanging out with Jen when I went over the other night to bail her out of some gay shit or whatever. And dang on, we got to laughing, and I was like, we sound like a bunch of fucking witches up in here. And she's like, isn't it hilarious when men get together and they're all laughing? They sound like Beavis and Butthead. But when women get together and they're laughing, we sound like witches. I was like, oh my God, that's fucking great. Oh, it was hilarious. I don't know. I'm just... And then I read yesterday, or early this morning before I went to bed, I read a horoscope thing, which I haven't done in a really long time, and it's like, Leo, just let things unfold naturally. And I'm like, nah, shit, that's what I was trying to do whenever I thought the video hadn't uploaded, and I was like, okay, well, I kind of dodged a bullet on putting that video up there, because I was being a little bit of a fucking smartass, but then again, not that bad. Not that bad at all. And if people see that and they're like, you're such a bitch, I'm like, don't even know. Oh, and also in yesterday's video, Eddie, which is a guy that I've known before, met on POF a few years ago. Me and him were friends on Facebook for a long time. He was all into, he likes me, or whatever and stuff, and I was like, that's cool and stuff, but I can only see us as friends, and he has epilepsy, and he's like very good with computers and shit like that, but it's like I kind of ultimately unfriended him because I'm very suspicious of everybody. I don't trust nobody, and I really didn't trust him because of things that he would say, and they would be coincidental, and I'm like, dude, did you say this, because of that? And he's like, no, and I'm like, And then he's friends with somebody that, I don't want to say I don't like them, because it's not that. It's just, maybe I don't like them. I don't know, but it's not really that as much as it is. It's just, it's this person that I worked with that married my longtime neighbor from when I was a kid, he was like one of my first crushes or whatever. And like, that's the thing too, is like, he denied me in every way, and granted, I didn't, like, come straight on to him, and like, hey, I like you, and, I'm crushing on, but it's like, he was with the people he was with, and that was it, and I was not one of those people that was privy to knowing him, and it's like, okay, I don't deserve to know you, whatever, and then it's like, he has a brother, and so it's like, oh, okay, I'm not privy to even knowing you as a friend. Okay, I'm not good enough for either of y'all. Well, fuck y'all, and okay, And so anyways, but I still used to go over to their house and hang out with them when I was little sometimes. And then I even went over to their house one time, when me and my dad was fighting. It was fucking winter, and like, he started screaming at me and shit, and I was outside, or what was it? I was outside feeding the dogs, and he started hollering at me about something else, and I was like, I done know, and I done took care of it, or what was it? I had food that I put in the microwave, and I was just going to go out and hurry and feed the dogs. But when I went out, the dog's water bowl had algae growing in it, so I was like, shit, I gotta wash their water bowl today. So I'm walking the water bowl up, and as I'm walking it up to wash it, he's like, this goddamn microwave keeps going off, and you need to cut this, And I'm like, okay, I will in a damn minute. I'm like, I don't want to have to come in, wash my hands just to come back out. I'm like, can you not just open the fucking door to get the damn microwave to stop going off? Are you so fucking, caught up on your high horse that you can't stop it and see that I'm busy and I'm out here watching the damn algae out of the fucking dog bowl or some shit like that, And he's like, da 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 da, or whatever. And so I went in, washed my hands so that way I could get my food out, stirred my food because it was like, what is it? Macaroni and cheese or whatever. So I'm putting the cheese in and I'm stirring it, and everything. And I'm like, great, now I get to go back out here and get my hands dirty. And it's like, he got so mad that instead of opening the fucking microwave and just, setting my food out and I would have got it when I came in. No, he can't do that because that's benefiting me. That's helping me with what I actually need. And men cannot seem to do that. I don't know what it is that's so broken inside of men that they can't do that. But they can't. I've never known a man that can actually do what I actually need him to do. Or if they do, there's always a manipulation and a coerce and all that. And that's just like, Jason, dude, I just needed you to take me home. And you didn't do just that, But it's like, that's all I needed my dad to do was open the fucking door to the goddamn microwave and the microwave would have shut up. And then even at that, I didn't need that. He's the one that was bitching about the microwave beeping, So it's him that needs that. So I came in and made the microwave stop fucking beeping, got my damn food out, and he goes out and he's scrubbing the fucking, because he's mad at me because I left the water running, out there at the spigot to clean the damn bowl or whatever. And so he's out there and I'm like, what are you doing? I was gonna clean it. And he's like, goddamn stupid ass bitch, can't fucking do this shit right and fucking this and fucking that and and he's calling me every name up under the sun. He's like, leave my goddamn water running and this and that. I'm like, yeah, for 5 fucking seconds so I can come in and stir the goddamn microwave or stir the damn food so I can shut the fucking microwave up so you'll shut the fuck up. And, I mean, he just kept on and everything. I took that damn bowl of fucking food and I flung it at his ass, and it went out all through the yard, and the bowl went rolling past him and he just looked up at me, and I was like, well, you know what? I'll take care of that. How about you get your ass back in here and you go in the goddamn bedroom and watch some more porn on the fucking internet, you goddamn porn addict. I mean, I just fucking let him have it, and he come after me like he was going to, and I went out the front door, and I ran back around and I'm out there cleaning and he ran out, and he's looking for me and he's like screaming and I'm like, I'm over here doing my damn shit and taking care of these fucking dogs, I'm like, so shut the fuck up. And so he went back through the house and comes back through the back door, and everything, and I'm just like, what? And he's like, goddamn bitch. And he just slams the door and he locked it. And he looked at me when he locked it like, haha, you're locked out of the house. It is fucking winter. I got on shorty shorts up to my fucking ass. I got on a tank top. I got on flip-flops. And I'm like, oh, and there's snow on the ground from the day prior. Like little patches of snow still that ain't melted. And I'm like, okay, we can play this. Hell yeah, So I finished watering the dogs and everything, and then I went off to this neighbor's house and used their phone, to call and like talk to my mom and my grandmother, who had to call my dad to tell my dad to unlock the door so that way I could get back in the house. And then I was like, can I just hang out here for like a fucking hour, because I don't want to go back, And they're like, do you want to call the cops? And I'm like, do you want me to be homeless and have to live with you? Is what's going on in my head. And I'm thinking, no, I don't want to call the cops. I mean, I do, but I don't. But any fucking way. So this girl ended up marrying my neighbor or whatever, and like I worked with her, and she stole a little bit of stuff, and she got in trouble for it, and I think she's mad at me for it. And it's like, you're not going to be mad at me for it, and then you stole stuff, and I don't see that as a proper way to go about living your life. And even if it's like, oh, y'all were hard up on money and you had to steal and everything, like, for crying out loud, I'm working with you. And even though my finances ain't, but you could have probably stood, there's people out there that you can go to that'll help you, And I'm one of those people, damn it, I guess, and everything. And so I would have preferred you to have been standing there and been like, I don't know how we're going to make it. And even though you did say that to me, but the thing is I don't get how you are a pretty woman. And what I mean by that is high maintenance, okay? You came in and you were flaunting your ring one damn day that you got. So you got some jewelry that cost some money, cost a pretty penny. You have makeup on every fucking day, You have your hair done every so often, or whatever. You have all these things that you're living with. So you can't tell me that your life is hard. And that's even like Jen. Jen does some things that I'm just like, that's like, what is it? That thing dealing with Bugs Bunny and what's it fucking called? I don't know. That meme that was going around that was really, blown up there for a while or whatever, with the fat fucking version of Bugs Bunny or whatever. But, she went out and bought a damn t-shirt with it on it. And then she wants to talk about being hard up on cash. I bought some boots in December, and some underwear. Before that, I bought work shoes, like, in September. Before that, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what the fuck I bought. And even though, yeah, I buy makeup occasionally, and I rarely ever wear it, and I got like 2 tops of eyeliners, or not eyeliners, or, well, is it eyeliner? Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, it's eyeliner. I got 2 tops of eyeliner or whatever that's in my, makeup bag but they're there for if I ever do want to. And I don't that often, but people gotta learn to live without their fucking wants. And I might sound like I'm on my fucking high horse about that to a degree, and you might look at my life and be like, well, you want this, and you can't talk about life, and that's like my parents getting on my ass about having the pets. But I had the pets, because my kid wanted the pets. I was fine with just Stevie and our first dog, Una. But then Una got pregnant, and then Ava wanted to keep a puppy, and then she kept a puppy, and then my parents kicked their fucking cat out, so we took their fucking cat in, and then a stray dog showed up, and then she wanted to take it in, and then she wanted a bird, and, I mean, you do things in life. But anyways, so I think this person has a problem with me, and this person is friends with Eddie, and it seems like there's some shit talk that kind of goes on behind the scenes, and that's just me. And so Eddie, I mean, yeah, you put a comment, and you found my YouTube and everything, and I appreciate you subscribing and all that and everything, and I appreciate what to the degree of a friend that you have been to me, but I don't trust you. And I've even told you that flat out, so I mean, it's not nothing for me to put it in a video and everything, but I'll still talk to you, and we'll try to build it and everything. We'll try to build trust, but at the same time, when I throw up the stop sign and I'm like, no, we can't, and I stop, then I stop. And I don't really trust you, and that's another thing too. Is there something wonky or whatever or coincidental? Because every time that dealing with EJ, this girl, I'd bump into her. And so I'm like, how am I bumping into her, this woman, because I bumped into her at the store. And as a matter of fact, last time I went to EJ's house, which was in, I don't know, because we had the falling out in like March, and I think I went in like June. I had somebody drive me out there, or I don't know what month it was. Or maybe it was later. Maybe it was, I don't know. I can't remember. But anyways, I paid them gas money to drive me out there, or maybe it's been more recent than that. I don't know. But anyways, I paid them $20 to drive me out there. Then I had to stop at the Dollar General on the way back, get some groceries, and as I'm in there, so is this woman. And I just kind of nod my head and go on about my day, and everything. But it makes me feel like it honestly makes me feel like a police officer or like an investigation type shit or some type of shit. It makes me feel like somebody's watching my goddamn phone, somebody's watching my goddamn shit, and somebody's got, and it's all these coincidental things. And it's like, oh, you're being paranoid. Okay, calm down with the paranoid. Okay, I can. But can the shit stop? Can the coincidences just stop? And the thing is like they have now, and so now I'm like, thank God, And I'm like, I hope they stay like that, and they keep kind of dampering off some, because this shit has been stirring so much here lately that I'm just like, can it just fucking stop? And that's like even whenever I went over the other night to get my salad, the people that I used to work with, they looked upset and sad and all kinds of stuff. And maybe they spread my little video out and all this and everything, so that way, maybe they all get in a huddle group and watch it. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Or somebody's talking, somebody's saying shit, or something's going on. But maybe it's like, maybe we should kind of back off and leave her alone for as far as the gossip and the shit talk and everything. I don't know. Or maybe they felt bad for me because I went to Jason's and, and this and that, and like Jason and his stuff. And that's the thing too, is like Jennifer, some stuff dealing with personal things that she was saying to me, and I was like, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that, but I've never had to deal with that. And something that Jason has to deal with, it's a personal thing, and it's like, okay, Jason deals with that, but just because doesn't mean that I do, or at least not that I know of, and I ain't had no issue, so, and everything, and it's like, it is what it is, and everything, but personal shit, and like Jen trying to dig at me, I feel like about it, and I'm like, like, don't do this shit to me, man, back the fuck off. But anyway, so they looked at me kind of sympathetic whenever I went over last night, and I thought, well, it's about damn time. And the thing is, too, is this guy that I used to work with, Chris, that his dad committed suicide, and like, I thought me and him were friends, and we were cool, and we were talking and everything, but then he got fired because he was stealing money, supposedly. And then that makes me look bad, because if I'm friends with somebody that's stealing money, and I'm tired of people doing that shit to me, and everything, and it's like, no, like, yeah, I might be able to sit down and talk to you and hear your story and sympathize and understand and show compassion, but that doesn't mean that after you've done the deed and you've done the wrong action that I'm going to defend you, And I'm not even saying for sure that he did steal, but supposedly he was, or whatever, supposedly. And so he lost his job. And so then he says he's getting this new job, and I'm like, oh, are you? I go over here, talk to these people that we all used to work with, and I'm like, hey, did he get the job at the other place? And they're like, no, he didn't. And I'm like, hey, and I text him, I'm like, hey, did you get it or not? Like, don't fucking lie to me, man. Don't fucking lie to me, And he blocked me, and I was like, you little son of a bitch. And I was like, okay, you're going to block me. Okay, you're going to act like that. Okay, you're better than me. Okay, I supposedly can't understand you. Sorry that I'm not going to agree with you that if you did steal, that I'm going to be like, oh, well, it's okay. And, and I understand. And no, you come to people and ask for fucking help before you fucking do some dumbass shit. Okay? That's what you do. Okay, that's what you need to learn to do. That's what everybody needs to learn to do. You come to somebody and you ask for fucking help before you do some dumb shit. And when people fail you and you feel like you're completely alone, I get it. And it's sad and it sucks. Okay? And I'm kind of going through it yet again in my fucking 30 years of goddamn life. Here we go again. Saddle up. you know? But it is what it is. But just because shit hits the fan and because it seems so fucking negative and so fucking bad, you keep pushing. You keep pushing. Keep trying to do right. You keep trying to be right. You keep trying to do good. Good creates good. You plant a seed of goodness, that shit's gonna sprout. You plant a seed of badness, that shit's gonna sprout. Don't look at me when you plant a seed of badness and go, oh, I didn't know. No, you did. You did. Okay? You did. Just like I know putting the belt around my fucking neck and yanking it in front of my kid was not the best way to go about handling trying to get her to understand life and death and responsibilities, and when people say certain things, they fucking mean it. Okay? It wasn't the best way to go about it. So I planted I sprinkled some bad seeds over here, and so they're growing. And so I'm having to stomp them out and, and uproot them and replant them. And that's what you do. You gotta keep trying. But anyways, this damn dude, because I'm looking and I'm like, oh, okay, Jason blocked me. Okay, fuck him, like in the back of my head. And then I'm like, well, he didn't block me on both my Facebooks. That's the thing, too. He knows I have 2 Facebooks because he smarted off to me. And he's like, how many last names do you have? And I'm like, my maiden and my married? Like, who the fuck do you think I am? How many drugs have you done recently? I only got 2 names. Now granted, whenever I was, like, checking up on EJ, yeah, I was creating fake Facebook accounts, But I deleted them all, and I only checked up on her, like, once or twice. And as a matter of fact, one of them that I wrote her from was put up under the same goddamn name. And she still had the gall to look at the message and read it, and then block me. And I'm just like, you little shithead, like, okay. Oh shit, I still got that Facebook that's up under Adam's name. I've had a Facebook that I created up under Adam Levine, his name. So that way it could be linked to my kids and everything. That way she feels... that's her dad. That's her dad. So, even though he hadn't been much of a dad, but that's still, at the end of the day, that's still her dad. Just like my dad's mine. But, anyways, I don't know. Lord love a duck. I don't even know why I started saying that. I don't know who said that around me, or if I said that myself. I used to say some weird shit, like whenever I'd get really mad and I wanted to cuss in front of my kid, but I wouldn't cuss in front of her or whatever. And she would just laugh, and she would just look at me and be like, Mommy, what are you even saying? I'd be like, fudge monkey buckets if I know, I don't know. I was just like, yeah, But, she ended up laughing and thinking it was funny and stuff. God, I miss her. But, so anyways, I ain't been on that Facebook in a minute. Adams or whatever. I don't even know what the fucking password is. I would have to probably recreate it. I don't know. But, anyways, Jason knows that I have 2 Facebooks because he smarted off to me, kind of bit my head off, and he's like, how many last names do you have? Like, dude, I'm sorry that you're, like, paranoid and, like, people have tried to do you wrong and dirty and shit, but I get it at the same time. But then if you keep asking for it because the way that you behave from everybody and you don't give people the benefit of the doubt, and you don't try, then you're going to keep receiving that, Like, calm the fuck down and stop with that shit and everything. Like, stop. Like, it's so depressing. Like, I don't even know you that well. And what slight I know you, because I respect all people. And I respect all living, breathing human beings, things, and all that and everything. Baby doll, you're pitiful. And I don't mean that in a, like hoity-toity, I'm stuck up, and I'm not pitiful myself. Hell, I'm pitiful myself at damn times. Hell, I'm very pitiful at fucking times. But Like, I want to, I want to be something good in your life is the best way that I can think of to word it. And if I can be something good in people's life, then damn it, I'm going to. And that's the reason, like, I'm so fucking mad at EJs. I'm like, okay, you don't want a relationship with me. Okay, you just want to be friends. Okay, but let me be something good in your life. Because I can put good into your life, if you'll let me, And it's like, what is it? It's like that fucking movie Robots or whatever. See a need, feel a need. And that doesn't mean to go out and, oh, they want to fuck, so I'm going to fuck them. It don't mean shit like that, but it's like, if you see that somebody needs some kindness, if you see that somebody needs some compassion, if you see that somebody needs a fucking hug, or a kiss, like on the cheek or whatever, or a shoulder to cry upon, or some shit like that, offer that shit to them. If you see somebody needs a ride, give them a ride. And even though that doesn't mean, like, okay, for instance, we have people that live where I live that are homeless, is the best way to word it, and they hang out at the store all the time, and they just sit there, and they never ask for help. They never ask for food, they never ask for clothes, they never ask for anything, and I'm so grateful that they don't, like, continually ask for shit, like this one person that does have a home, that walks everywhere, which is Walking Mary. And she asks for shit quite often in comparison to these people that have less than her that don't ask for shit. And I so totally fucking get that. Because that's like my sister. My sister's always had people that just love her and help her and do things for her. And that's just like whenever she moved out and she had guys helping her. And I'm like, did you fuck every one of them? Like, how the hell do you get people to do that shit for you without, like... Why can't I have people like that? It's like, whatever and shit. But it's like, I know what it's like to need the help, but you don't ask and all that. And so these people don't ask, but Mary asks. My sister asks, she gets, I ask, I don't, And so I learned to not ask anymore and just do with what the fuck I was given. And that's what those people are doing. They're doing with what the fuck they're given. And then even the guy that was homeless, that was staying around here, that, like, I don't know, he actually would come and sit, at the store and, like, at the other store that I used to work at and stuff. And so it was obvious that, that's, like, his way of asking, and stuff. And then there's the ones that, and see, he wasn't as strung out as these, and everything. And it's like, and that's just like the girl stealing and all that. If you're going to plant a seed of badness, I can't help you, is the best way to word it. If you're not trying to become better, then I can't be part of your life. If you're wanting to stay stuck in your rut, or you're wanting to keep making bad decisions, then I can't help you. But if you're trying to be better, and it's not a facade, and it's not a joke, and I don't feel that I have to back away from you because you're making it a joke, or you're making it funny, and or you're not prepared, or you're not ready for the hard work of what it takes, because it takes endurance, man. It takes endurance like you ain't never believed. Believe me, I know. People sit here and they're like, what? You've only slept with 2 people? Technically kind of 3, but not really, because I didn't sleep with Jason. Never have. Yeah, he's seen me naked, but that's it. But it's like, what? You're 30, and that's all that you've done? And you've had the opportunity, because I've been living in my own place for 3.5 fucking years. You want to bet that I can't go over to the damn store and grab some dude's hand and probably be like, hey, you want to fuck, and eventually find somebody that might not turn me down and be like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, the opportunity is there, but am I going to take it just because it's there? No, I'm not. Because it's not what I want to grow in my life. It's not the type of life that I want to live and lead and all this and everything. I want a good life. And so if that means never having sex again, then I'm never having sex again. Or if that means waiting another year to have sex, or waiting another 2 years or another 10 years to have sex again, then so be it, But if I can find somebody that's worth, and that goes with any relationship and stuff like that. But if you're willing to grow towards good things, then I can help you. And if you're not, then I can't help you. you know? So if you're going to sit over here and keep doing drugs and you're paying for drugs, you know, and then you're going to bitch at me because you need money, or you're not bitching at me, but you're asking for a handout like for food, I'm not going to help you to get food. I'm not going to be your fucking supplier, okay? I'm not going to be your enabler. There you go. I'm not going to enable you or what the fuck ever. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put up with your shit. But if you're trying, or if I'm still trying to figure out if you're trying or not, because that's kind of like with Jen. I'm still trying to figure out if Jen really wants a better life, or if Jen just pretends that she wants a better life. And I don't know. I don't know if she's willing to put in the hard work of it. Seems like she is most of the time. Seems like she wants a better life. But then the only way that I can fully lead her into a better life, for as far as us just being friends, because that's all we're ever going to be able to be, because she's an atheist and I believe in God, and that is a huge difference, you know. And I'm not trying to convert her and be like, you have to believe in God for me to help you. No, you don't have to believe in God for me to help you, you know, like, but you're not planting a seed of badness in that to a full degree, because she does kind of lean a little bit still questioning being an atheist. And so in that's like a little spark of hope, I guess you'd say. That's a little spark of maybe. And that's the thing, is that we all genuinely do have that. And I'm trying to pull that out of people so that way they get back on this fucking train of hope, so that way they do good for people and stuff. But I gotta end this video and upload it because I'm at 66 minutes. I hope everybody's doing good. You got any comments, drop them below. You know, like the video if you want to. You know, but yeah, I gotta end it. And so I will catch you later, and I hope you're doing good. And you can hit me up on my Facebook Messenger if you want to talk. And I'll catch you later in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.